Some people think the Great Axe is a brain-dead weapon, an unskillful, amateur-hour face-roll option of weaponry. You wanna know what I think? I see a Great Axe. A full-size 4x4 Jeep Wrangler Transforma Giga Chad Alpha Male. We're not just spinning to win, we're out here mowing the grass of the battlefield, chopping down every peasant in sight, and weed whacking like we're getting paid for it. So the next time you pick up a Great Axe, just know you're not just choosing a weapon, you're choosing a goddamn lifestyle. Welcome to the Great Axe Club. Welcome to Scripted Gaming. Sup guys, Border here, and welcome back to a brand new video. I'm super excited to get into this one because we're going to be awakening an absolute monster for this one. A freak on a leash. So, without further ado, let's get into it. But before we dive too deep into it, I want to invite you to join in on this video's giveaway. I'll be giving away 7 days of premium to one lucky winner. So, for a chance to win this prize, all you need to do is subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment your in-game name down below, and I'll be picking a winner in the Discord 1 week from now, so stay tuned for that. But with all that out of the way, let's get back into the video and awaken this monster. So in case you guys haven't caught on yet, we're going to be awakening a weapon for today's video. But not just any weapon, we're going to be awakening this battle axe. This 4.4 beautiful, pristine battle axe. So in terms of the awakening of the weapon, we're going to be fishing for certain traits that really complements this build that we have here. But I'll get into that a little bit more later, so let's get into the initial awakening of the weapon. So in case you guys are new to awakening weapons, it can be done at any artifact foundry in any major city or portal town of any city. So we're at the artifact foundry now on the 3rd tab here of the awakened weapons. So what we're going to do is drag our 4.4 weapon, in this case battle axe, into the awakened weapons slot here. And these are the requirements for the initial cost of 4.4, so 120k silver, 3 siphoned energy, and 3 Avalonian energy. So since we meet those requirements, we're going to go ahead and awaken our battle axe here. Select pay. We also have a little bit of a global discount because of our reputation, which is always nice. Saves us just a tad silver, but silver is silver. So we'll go ahead and press pay. And there we go. We are now awakened with our 4.4 pristine battle axe. So now that we have our awakened weapon attuned to us, we can check that by clicking on the weapon and scrolling all the way down to the stats where it says attuned to, and you should see your name right next to it. Following that, we're now going to need to earn attunement points if we're going to want to upgrade the traits, learn new traits, and alter them if need be. So with that, earning attunement points comes from earning fame out in the open world. So let's get into a couple ways you can do that. When it comes to awakened weapons and earning attunement points, weapons of tier 4 and 5 can be earned in any zones, so blue zones, yellow zones, red zones, and black zones. But if you're earning attunement points for an awakened weapon of tier 6 to 8, then you'll need to earn these attunement points through lethal zones, so red zones and black zones only. So although earning attunement points the fastest would involve going into the red or black zone and taking advantage of that fame multiplier from the lethal zones, not everyone's going to want to risk their awakened weapon knowing they might lose it altogether in a full loot PvP zone. So for the start of this video, I'm going to show you guys a safe way to earn attunement points with a 4.4 or a 5.4 weapon. So to do just that, we're going to be looking for a portal to get ourselves into the mists, a solo portal. And don't get it twisted, this is not a portal into the mists, especially for a safe zone. So with that, we're going to continue over here where I believe I found a wisp, and make sure it's a will-o-wisp. There we go. I believe the 2v2 ones are greater wisps or something like that. But this is a solo one. This is the one we're looking for. So we're going to hop in and jump into a yellow zone mist. So a safe mist, if you are knocked down by an enemy player, you are only ported out, but you do not lose your gear. So keep that in mind. So now that we've made our way into the mist, we're going to be looking for spots to earn fame, which transitions into attunement points. And that can be done the easiest way by looking on your map, your local map, by pressing N on your keyboard if you're playing on PC. And look for these structures on the map that represent somewhat of a square. These are camps that you can farm out and earn attunement points by clearing them out and getting a little chest at the end as a reward. So we're going to head over there and see what's what. Alrighty, we are approaching the camp here, and you'll see once we step into this circle, only in yellow zone mists, this will put us in a unrestricted PvP zone, And while we're in here, we can fight and be fought by enemy players. And if we are knocked down, remember, you don't lose your gear, you're just ported out of the mist, which is a minor inconvenience, but it is the risk we need to take to clear out these camps and earn our attunement points. But once you're in here, you can basically just clear out the camps. Lucky for us, we do have pretty high IP, willing to risk, you know, the best of the best gear since it is only a yellow zone. And plus we are using an axe, which is also pretty good in terms of AoE and clearing out mobs in general. So we're gonna have a pretty easy time doing this and should clear out this camp, no problem. Another little tip I have for you guys in terms of rounding up the mobs and AoEing them down, you can use your mount to run around and group them up like so, and then once you're ready to cleave them all down, you can dismount and take them all out. That way they're all stacked on top of you and you're not running around fighting one by one. Just makes it a little bit quicker, especially if you have the build for it. But as you saw in that previous clip, we did complete the objective and completed the camp. You can confirm that just by looking to the right side of your screen and see the little overlay saying Undead Camp Objective Completed. And now we can grab our rewards, which is the chest, which varies in different qualities and sizes, but usually it's around the center of the camp, if not always. So we've made our way there. We have a common medium chest. It's only the yellow zone, so we probably won't get anything crazy, but we can break that open. And yeah, we'll get a little bit of fame. Usually there's actually a little bit better fame, or a little bit better of loot, but sometimes you get what you get. Another thing, if you're wanting to know how close you are to earning enough attunement points for your awakened weapon, you can do so by doing this. You can just simply click on your weapon, scroll down to the stats part of the weapon, and just looking under attunement, you can see we have 587 out of the 2080 that we need. So we need a little under 1500 points to finish off the attunement of our weapon. And when we do reach max, we should see a little overlay of our weapon saying you have reached the attunement max or something like that. So hopefully I'll get that on video to show you guys. Alright guys, we did have to jump into another mist because the previous one was about to close, which will happen every once in a while. So we're just in the next one over, gonna farm up some more mobs and then grab some more attunement points. So we'll see just how easy we can take these guys down. I don't even know if I need that many Q stacks. I'll probably just E them down. There we go. And just like that, you can see we've cleared out over half the camp, actually. So just like that. Bada boom, bada bing. There we go. Objective complete. And our daily bonus has been completed as well. So the chest should be somewhere around here. Oh, there it is in the corner. It was staring right at me. This one, only a small chest, so we shouldn't get to anything too crazy from this one. Yeah, just some more Tomes of Insight, but we'll see if we can get a bigger chest before we're down here in the mists. Alright guys, as you can see here, we are probably just one mob away from clearing out the camp. This one is actually slightly empowered, so it should give us more progress. We do have an enemy stranger running up on us though real quick, so we were able to grab that last mob. Maybe they'll be tame after all, I don't know. Alright, at the very least we were able to clear out the camp, loot our common medium chest here, and just more books of fame. Looks like that other guy did play nice after all, appreciate that from him. Just looking to get some fame farming done, appreciate that, brother. Alright guys, I believe we are less than 100 attunement points away from finishing, and yep, there we go. As you can see above, maximum attunement reached. So with that, we're able to go back to the Artifact Foundry and plug in our trait. Alright guys, we made it back to the Artifact Foundry and we are about to plug in our first trait for our Awakened Weapon. And before even choosing a trait, we can look at what we're going to be fishing for this build specifically. Or you can look at the traits to see what you're interested in as well. As you can see, there's traits for, ability damage, defense versus all, max energy, max health, item power. The list goes on. This is the full list here. So for this build, the theme is obviously, of course, damage, but the side theme that I'm going for is self-healing. So with that, you can see with my build here, I have a lot of self-healing. So with my E, I have Blood Bandit, which is going to heal me for a fair bit based off the Q charges or Q stacks we have on enemies, which is self-healing. We have the Hellion Jacket, which most of you know also does a crap load of self-healing as well by damaging mobs based off your percentage of health. I have Soldier Boots, which is actually supposed to be plugged into Rejuvenating Sprint, which is going to heal me for every tick of the boot. So another heal there. And to top it all off, we do have the Lurcher Sandwich, I hope I'm saying that right. and that's going to increase not only our max health, but our healing received by 9.5%. So a lot of self-healing. So that's kind of the theme of this build that I'm going for. So to continue that theme of a self-healing monster that we already have going with our build, here's a few of the possible traits we can earn to further that build and make it even stronger. So in no particular order, these are some of the possible traits that I wouldn't mind rolling on this Awakened Axe. We do have healing received up to a total of 15% if we were to upgrade it all the way. I think this would benefit our build tremendously with the amount of healing abilities we have on our build. This would be super viable in PVE, allowing us to have crazy sustain in dungeons and whatnot, and even in PvP. In group scenarios with that Hellion Jacket, receiving even more healing from it would be insane. So that's where my head's at with healing received. Our second preferable trait of choice would also be right below the last one, which is max health. Upgradable all the way up into 609 extra health for your health pool. I think this would be a super strong choice. I think max health is always a big deal when it comes to fights, just granting you more survivability, having a bigger health pool in general. And I think this would play kind of nice with our healing received. Not only would we have a nice high health pool against enemies, but we also have the healing to keep it nice and high and full on HP. So I think this would be a good choice in that scenario. And the third trait on our mind is actually lifesteal. We can grant you all the way up to 10% lifesteal when fully upgraded. This would be a little bit more of an experimental one for me when it comes to dealing with lifesteal. I've used a roast pork for food, I believe, which steals up to around 10% health when you deal damage, which is an interesting one, just grants more survivability. So when I see this, I think of something like that, and I think healing received. So I think this would also just play really well into our theme of our build, which is sustain and healing received. And for our fourth or fifth trait, this one doesn't really go with the theme of our build, but it's always a strong pick in my option in terms of awakened weapons or items in general. So number one would be ability damage. As you can guess, this is just going to increase the overall DPS of our axe, granting us more damage, more claps, more fun. So ability damage, always a good option. And then for the fifth and final one, super reliable, as you can guess, it is item power, increasing the scaling of our weapon in terms of base attributes and skills. So it's going to help us do more damage. If you go into the axe itself, you're going to see we're going to have more auto attack damage per second, resilience, max health, everything really. So item power can never go wrong with that. So that's why it's our fifth and final trait that we wouldn't mind getting for our awakened weapon. So although we can only earn 3 traits total, those are the 5-ish that I wouldn't mind getting on the rolling of this awakened weapon. But I know what you're saying, Border, shut up, that was a lot of talking. Just see what trait you get, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So we can go into modify trait, add trait, as we don't already have anything. In terms of using focus, it could reduce the amount of, or rather return the attunement points spent, but since we barely had to farm anything, I'm going to wait to use this until we're using a lot more attunement points. I think it'd be a little bit more optimal in terms of using focus. So I'm not going to use it yet, but as it costs more and more attunement points to upgrade traits, that's when I'm going to start using focus. So not just yet though. Alright guys, but with that all out of the way, let's see what trait we'll get. It will give us 3 traits to choose from. I'm really hoping to get at least one of those 5. So fingers crossed, great axes crossed. Let's do it, add trait. And here we go. So very interesting. We do actually get 2 out of the 5 that we were going for. Cast time reduction, absolute garbage for this build, so just disregard that altogether. But we do have ability damage, which is the 5th one we were talking about, and we also have max health, which we were also talking about before as well. So which one am I going to go for? For general purposes, I would usually go for ability damage, but for experimental purposes, for the sake of the theme of our build, for healing received and all that stuff, I think I'm going to go for max health. I think it'll benefit us the most in terms of the experimental side of this build. So yeah, we're going to lock in max health. Right now, it's going to give us a total of 18.14 max health. So we're going to confirm that. And that is our first trait, giving us more max health overall. So when it comes to upgrading traits, make sure you go over to the other tab. Currently we're on the replace trait, so we wouldn't want to press this by accident and get rid of the trait that we actually wanted. But go over to upgrade trait, click on that, and then this is where we're going to be able to upgrade. So when it comes to the silver cost, it'll say it down below right here, and attunement cost. But as you can see, we have attunement of 1800 points, so we're going to use some of that. When it comes to upgrading, you could basically get a mediocre upgrade, or you can get a critical strike and get a huge upgrade, which will do a little flashy animation that makes it let you know basically that you got a big upgrade out of the attunement points that you spent. So let's go ahead and do that. So hit upgrade here. We're looking for that big animation around the heart here. Upgrade. Here we go. Fingers crossed. And no, I don't think we got a crit, but it did upgrade a decent amount. I think we're going to use the last of our attunement points, try to see just how much max health we can get out of these upgrades. So we're going to go again. Maybe a little bit luckier this time. And there we go. We got a crit. You see the animation. Boom. We are now up to 153 increased max health on this axe, which is really nice. I believe we'll have enough for one more attunement upgrade, so we're going to go ahead and plug that in. Maybe get another crit once again. We'll see. No, not this one, but we'll be ending it at a total of 179 increased max health, so overall, pretty good. Another thing to lay out for you guys in terms of picking a new trait, unlocking trait 2 and 3. As you can see here, the second one costs a legendary rating of 15, and the third one costs a legendary rating of 30. So to do this, basically, you can see ours right here, we already have a legendary rating of 14, and that is done strictly just through upgrading our traits that we already have, our max health. So you do that enough times, you earn enough legendary rating, and then before you know it, you'll be unlocking trait 2 and 3, unlocking all three traits total. Alright, and the last thing I wanted to lay on you guys in terms of awakened weapons when it comes to customizing your weapon in general is the stat of strain, which if you click on your weapon, you can scroll back down to the stats and you can see strain here. And from upgrading our axe from the 3 to 4 times that we upgraded, we obtained a strain level of times 6.15. So this will basically mean once we upgrade our weapon, it'll cost more and more depending on the more strain we have. So this will cost more silver, and to my knowledge, it'll cost more attunement points as well. But I think that's enough awakened weapons for one day. This was episode 1 of the series. I was thinking if you guys enjoyed this episode and you want to see more, definitely let me know in the comments below, and we can see just how far we can push this battle axe in terms of self-healing, damage, the whole shebang. If you guys enjoyed it, let me know and I'll continue making this series. And also be sure to sign up for the giveaway as well. But thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate your support. We just hit 9,000 subscribers on YouTube here. We're on the road to 10K. Would love it if you were to subscribe to the channel to see more content like this. Would really appreciate it. But until next time, stay safe, stay positive, and I'll see you in the Discord.